All right. Sandali lang po. As usual, eto naman po tayo. Nag-share na naman muna ako ng ating link because I want many people to actually watch our episode this afternoon dahil special po. Wait lang po. Ito na po. Tapos tayo. And okay. All right. Okay. So, parang ganyan na po talaga ang start palagi ng pageantry norms. Good afternoon, everyone. Kumusta po kayo? My God, time flies so fast. Para bang nagmamadali talaga tayong iwan ng 2020 because today is the last day of the first month of 2021. And bukas po, February na. Diyos ko, hard month na. Parang Valentine's na very soon. And um, next week, season finale na po ng season 3 finale na namin. And tapos by the end of February, season 4 na kami. Ang bilis-bilis po talaga ng araw. But here we are. Let's focus on season 9, our penultimate episode for season 3. Last October 2020, when Miss Universe Philippines culminated in its finals in Baguio City, a Miss Universe Philippines 2020 was crowned along with her 4 runners-up. Now, the results were accepted by everyone as is. There is this one Miss Universe Philippines, and there are 4 runners-up. But shortly after that, it was announced that by Jonas Gafford of Miss Universe Philippines org that all of the 5 will be given special titles. So at first, pageant followers were thinking, ano to? Are they going to be assigned pageant representations abroad in smaller competitions? So, meron agad na para bang resistance, na para bang, ano yan, ilalaban ba sila? So, ako naman, initially, when I heard about that, it was already clear in my mind that they will be given titles of national importance, so to speak. So, totoo nga. They are now ambassadors in 5 specific social issues or areas of concern for the Philippines. Ang nakakatuwa po dito is this afternoon's episode is like para pong cabinet meeting na I am sharing this episode with 5 secretaries. Isang secretary for this society concern, another one for this. But let's not get ahead of everything. Introduce ko po muna sa inyo one by one. Let's start with our ambassador. Ay, teka muna, shoutout muna tayo sa ating unang-unang early bird, Hala Labado Nilo. Hello! Thank you for being the first. Introduce ko po ang ating ambassador for gender equality, Miss Kimberly Atkinson. Billy Atkinson. Hello, Billy. Hi. Are you there with me now, Billy? Our ambassador for gender equality. Ba't wala ka pa? Ay po. Ay, hi, Zico and Francesca. Taruk. Ay, hello, dear. Hello, Binibini. Hello, Jess Sorrentino. Our first guest nga po this afternoon is our ambassador for gender equality, Billy Atkinson. Hello, Billy. Ay, may nag-shoutout po dito. Hindi ko mabasa ang inyong Facebook name because I think it's in Japanese. Oo. Okay. Our first guest is nawawala si Billy Lilitaw. Nawawala. Oo. Shoutout tayo for Cyrus Cabiles, DJ Abustan. Eda, hello. Nice for you to drop by. O, nariyan ka na ba? Ay, my God. Ina ba sinasabi ko sa Ambassador for Gender Equality yan? Biglang nawawala, biglang lilitaw, biglang nawawala. Hello, Billy!
Hi, Tito. I was in the backstage, okay?
Yes, you were. I know you were in the backstage. I was asking you to... ang ganda-ganda ng mga background nyo ngayon talaga, no? It's so calm. Very peaceful. Billy, please greet our viewers first.
Hi to all our viewers, to my believers who are watching right now. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. And keep sharing the link para mas marami tayong viewers, para mas marami tayong katsikahan this afternoon.
Alam mo ba, naluloka ako pag nag-hashtag ako ng mga ambassadorships nyo. Ang hahaba. Yung bang, ay, ano ba to? Talagang, hindi magkasya sa isang line, for example, sa Facebook, kailang bumaba pa sa second line because they're so long and winding. Ay, sabi na sa'yo, ambassador for gender equality. Did you expect this? Did you
No,
expect this? Oo.
no, because during the selection of parang ambassadorship namin, they gave us the liberty to choose. So ako parang I was playing around with women empowerment or something about gender, and then they decided na okay, let's go for gender equality, and I was really happy about that because of the whole LGBTQ thing going on, and plus the whole women empowerment thing that I had before as a candidate. So it was perfect for me, I think.
Oh, ang nakakatuwa kasi, Billy, was the fact that all of the assigned areas for each one of you five, parang it was a very, parang perfect fit eh. Parang jigsaw puzzle na nag-swak eh. Pag titignan mo talaga parang, ay oo, bagay nga yung ano sa kanya. And then, biglang ito. Alam mo, naalala ko bigla yung post ni Mami Mikey Andre na nakasuot ka nung parang white na wedding dress niya ang pool. Sabi ko, my God, sabi ko, sagot ko tuloy kay Mami Mikey noon, I want to wear that in my wedding. Okay,
It's
sige.
still with me. Ipadala ko na ba sa'yo?
Hahanap muna ako ng groom, Billy. Kasi pag pandemic, ang hirap humanap ng groom. Eh, lagi ako nakauwi sa mga dog groomers. Kaya yun, wala.
Oh my God.
Dog ang kasama ko dito sa bahay. Kaya
At least ikaw meron.
ay nako, by accident na nga lang yung dog na yan. Kung sabi ko, biglang dumating na lang sa amin. Ay, ayun. Ay, at least ikaw.
Okay
Nasa,
na ako sa kasama ko. Kasama ko si
oo.
Pau Pau tsaka si Rabia.
Pero maganda na ang mga ano ngayon, mga digs nyo, yung living in the, you're very cool abodes right now. Ang ganda-ganda ng paligid and everything. Alam mo, nagulat ka ako nung sinabi kayo ni Rabia sa backstage. Sabi ko, magkakasama ba kayong tatlo sa isang unit? Hindi po, tigi-tigisa. Naloka ako bigla dun sa tigi-tigisa ng unit. Talaga sabi ko, oh my God! Ako sabihin ko kay Mama J, Mama J, wala na bang ibang available unit yan kahit ano lang, kahit maliit lang na unit somewhere sa may stock room, boiler room, o parang gano'n. But how,
Pumunta ka kasi. You have to visit us sometime. I'll cook for you. 'Di ba ever since I've been talking about that, I've been inviting you para mapagluto na kita.
Billy Hackinson, ayan na ha, live mong sinabi yan ha, I will take
Yes!
up on that offer. Ha? Nagpupunta ako dyan at ano, hindi ako
Tanong
makikisweet
mo si
na. Ito tanongin
tanong
ko,
mo si Pau Pau tsaka si Rabia. I've been cooking for them since we moved in.
ano ba iluluto mo sa akin pag nagpunta ako dyan?
What do you want? Anong gusto mo?
Well, if you're going to cook pasta for me, I only eat olive oil-based pasta.
Alyo olio. I see. Sige.
Pasta lang naman. Now, kung simpleng panglasa lang naman, kumakain ako ng adobo na walang toyo. So, adobong puti ang tawag.
Puti. Oo.
Because I don't know, it's less salty for me. You
Alam mo
remember,
nakakamiss gata.
ay, nako, Diyos ko, Billy Hackinson, huwag mo kong simulan sa gata. Pagdating sa gata, Diyos ko, ang dami kong hilig na pagkain na niluto sa
Oh my
gata.
God, 'di ba? Oh, girls, exit na muna kayo. Magkukuwentuhan lang kami ni Tito Norms about food.
All right. Introduce ko lang po pa yung ating other guest, tapos we will go into a group discussion immediately after. Our next guest for this afternoon is our ambassador for tourism. Diyos ko, napakaganda ng mga ambassador for tourism ito. Diyos, pag makikita mo lang talaga, parang, wow, parang diyosa talaga. Ang diyosa ng Boholana, Belgium. Friends, let's welcome our ambassador for tourism, Pauline Cucharo Amalix. Hello, Pauline.
Hi, Tito Norman. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You just came from Bohol. what, last week ba or earlier this week or
Last week, yes.
oh
Monday, I think. Yes, Monday.
yeah, and then you had your homecoming, you had your courtesy call with
Yes,
Yap, and
that's true.
hindi ba kayo nagkita ng special someone mo na buhol? And I
He's
and I mean
not
your
from Bohol,
parents.
actually.
I mean, ay, ngayon lang sinasabi ko eh, hindi taga Bohol. Okay, that's good. I'll
Mm.
take that. Pero no, when you got assigned ambassador for tourism, Pao, ay, teka muna, Pao, di ko na, hindi ka pa pinababati sa mga viewers. You, you make bati first to our viewers.
Of course. Maayong adlaw to all the people who are watching this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that we'll have a fun and entertaining discussion for all of us.
All right. So ito na nga. When you got assigned ambassador for tourism na title, sabi nga kayo ni Billy, parang may mga choices kayo eh na parang
Yes.
okay you can. But why did you put your finger on tourism? Ito, this is what I like. Oo.
Yes. So as Billy said earlier, we all had the liberty to choose which position or which title we would want to have for ourselves. So it was a very conscious decision for me to choose tourism, mainly because of my experience with tourism before. While I was still in Bohol back in 2017 and 2018, I was a tourism officer for my municipality, and also because of all the things that I've experienced throughout the course of the preparations of Miss Universe Philippines in promoting Bohol. So it was a very fun and a very fulfilling thing to do before. And I think it will just be magnified a thousandfold if I can do it for other provinces or for the country. And tourism is a major industry, not just in Bohol, but in many other places in the Philippines. And if that would be my way of somehow contributing to this social concern or to society, then I'll be very happy to do that. Like I've been screaming to be able to go around and see more of the Philippines, and now that it's Corona, it's been very difficult for everyone to travel, even just to go home and see family. So I'll be very happy to at least be part of a project that would once again show and share the beauty of the Philippines for everyone as we start to move into a new normal, or as someone called it, a new abnormal. I don't know how you want to call it, pero we're always moving forward.
Alam mo, nakakaloka tong si Pauline. Nasagot na niya lahat ng mga questions ko na
Oh,
tanong ko mamaya. My God,
sige, I'll be the one to ask you questions na
para bang
lang
she read
mamaya.
my mind about, kasi alam mo, actually, I was asking my readers also at normannorman.com about you can send in your questions. And lahat ng mga questions sa'yo, puro ano, tourism, sabi nga ng iba, why ask about tourism? Para bang it's such a tired subject already because everyone is talking about tourism. Sabi ko, who knows? Pauline might have something novel to share. Tapos sabi ko nga, oh, kung ang tourism dyan is yung caravan around the Philippines. Ay, ang sarap-sarap pag gano'n. Like if you get involved with talagang touring from north to south na talagang you will visit each province and see how you can help promote there. Ay, ang sarap-sarap lang ng local tourism talaga. Kumbaga, it's something
That's
that
true. You're right.
everyone should really participate in. So, how's Bohol nowadays, dear?
Bohol is actually coping very well in my own opinion, and they have been very, how do you call this, very strategic in boosting the local tourism as well, and making it more appealing for Boholanos to take a break and have a staycation in the province as well. And I've been helping the committee when it comes to that. And I think that we'll be able to at least start off 2021 in a very positive note. Positive, not being positive for Corona, just a positive mindset. And
Yes.
yeah, they're just always finding ways to showcase the best that Bohol has, and it's always amazing to be back home, no matter how difficult it is to gather all the requirements that you need to travel back to the province now with all those new requirements and processes and procedures that we need to go through. But in the end, I'm always happy to be back there, and I was happy. when I was back
My,
there last
my
week.
God, alam mo, I miss Bohol. I miss Panglao.
Yeah, I
I
know.
miss Alona Beach. You know, para bang, kasi ako, my memories of Bohol will always be Panglao because those are the two places where I always stay in. Well,
Yes.
three times na ako nagpunta sa Bohol and palaging doon sa ano talaga. Kumbaga,
You should
miss ko.
explore Bohol more. When you get the
Yes, I
chance, you should
will.
explore Bohol more. Bohol is not just Alona, Tito Norman.
True. And I want to explore Bohol with the ambassador for tourism, of course. Yeah, dahil
Mama J
kailangan,
can arrange something maybe.
yeah. Kasi para bang ano yan eh, para bang may coverage dapat ang pagiging ambassador for tourism
Oh, why
mo.
not? Yes.
Totoo naman yun eh. Kumbaga, para bang mga pageant media, may naka-assign sa'yo for a specific province. Yung nga lang, ako, pipiliin ko na yung province na sasamahan kita. Kumbaga, ito gusto ko dito. Ito gusto ko dito. Para bang ganun, para mas exciting, para bang familiar ka na sa province na yun. So, nakaka-excite lang. Okay?
That's
Pao,
good.
I'll just introduce our other guests before we go into a group discussion, but this will be very fast. Our next
Perfect.
guest, ay, ang dami po pa shoutout dito natin. Diyos ko, Myla, Roger Roque, Mitch Padayhag, Ken Candy, Nix, hello dear, Nix Oriano, Bombo Ian Rahete of Bombo Radio Iloilo, Meldy. Naluloka ako, naglabasan bigla silang lahat pagkasama ko na talaga ang limang babaeng ito, no? Anyways, our third guest this afternoon po, ito dapat yung pakatutukan dahil this week alone, araw-araw ko po siya napapanood, weekdays sa TV. And hindi naman po siguro permanente yon pero ito tuwa po ang nanay ko dito sa batang ito dahil nakikilala na siya ng nanay ko based on all her TV appearances. Friends, please welcome our ambassador for health and fitness, Michelle Gumabao. Alam mo, narinig talaga ako dito kay Michelle because, hello dear! Hello Michelle!
Hi, Tito Norms! How are
Yeah,
you?
I am great dear. Please greet our viewers first, Michelle.
Hi to everyone watching. I know my mom's watching, my friends also, and to all my Michelin stars watching. And to my dogs also, live in the interview. They're here.
Ay, nagkakaloka. Nainggit naman ako bigla. Biglang nilabas yung mga dalawang doggies. Nakakaloka lang talaga. Alam mo, Michelle, when I said earlier that we watch you on TV every night, at least for this week, totoo yun. Walang biro yun. My mama will agree to that because every time we eat dinner before 6, maga kami mag-dinner eh. Ay, si Michelle pala ngayon. Tapos sa susunod na gabi, ay, si Michelle pala uli ngayon, kasama ni Lady. Ay, si Michelle, araw-araw na ba si Michelle doon? Sabi ko, baka naman kakabal birthday lang, araw-araw. Baka naman next week, baka schedule na lang. No?
Never
Pero,
know.
yes, totoo nga yun. Ang natutuwa lang ako, Michelle, is because of this constant appearances on Wawa Win or Tutok to Win, you have widened your reach. No, kumbaga ngayon pati yung C and D talagang kuhang-kuha mo na because they're very familiar with you. Ano ba to? Can you just briefly tell us how everything slid in the right places for you na naging co-host ni um, Willie sa Tutok to Win?
I honestly don't know, Tito Norms, because when it all started, as we all know, Front Row is a big sponsor of the show. So when
Yes.
Kuya Sam and Kuya RS invited all the girls to the show, I actually wasn't there because I had an event with Quezon City with Mayor Joy Belmonte that I really could not miss. So when they were first guested in Wawa Win, wala po ako doon. And then when I was invited back with Billy was my co-host there at that time. We were there for like, I'm not sure, but like 3 or 4 episodes together. And then after that, it became Hipon and I. And then it just happened. So I was just really lucky and fortunate to be part of the whole show, especially the whole birthday. And if you watched last Friday, somebody won the ₱1,000,000 and then a brand new
Yes.
yacht. So it's just,
Nakakaloka.
I honestly didn't know that being part of the show would be so close to my heart and close to my advocacy, because when your 200 pesos started last year, it was all about giving and making people happy. And when I was part of the show, it just felt so right and felt so at home. So I was just so excited to be a part of something even bigger than pageantry, even bigger than my own advocacy, because you don't see their smiles, but you hear it in their voices. And grabe talaga, Tito Norms, yung iyak ng mga natatawagan. Iba talaga yung saya na binibigay ng show at ni Kuya Will sa lahat ng mga Pilipino.
Actually, I can distinctly remember that one time when Willie called up a potential a winner, tapos iyak siya wala talagang unahan sa pang iyak niya. Pero syempre birthday ni Willie, kumanta siya na happy birthday while crying at nasa tono pa. Sabi ko, wow, sabi ko, for sure to makaka-jackpot kay Willie to ng bigay dahil kumanta ng umiiyak ng happy birthday tapos nasa tono pa and
I know this. I think he was the one who won 50,000, di ba?
yes, oo. Nakakatuwa kasi usually pag umiiyak ka, kumakanta ka, wala ka na sa tono eh. Pero
Ako
siya,
pa kahit umiiyak na sa tono.
kumakanta siya namin birthday. Sabi ko, nasa tono siya. Sabi ko, matutuwa. Yun pala, hindi ko pala nakakantahan si Willie at that time ng happy birthday. So, nakakatuwa lang that ang natutuwa kasi ko is the fact that ikaw na rin, sa'yo na rin ang galing to, Michelle, na at first, wala ka, kumbaga hindi ka pa nakasama sa kanila. Sabi nga ng mama ko, tinan mo to si Michelle, nung simula, siya yung wala. Pero tinan mo ngayon, palagi araw-araw siya yung kasama. Sabi ko, siguro ka ako, ano yan, she just made the perfect fit dun sa show, somehow. And pag magkarami kayo ni Hips, talaga sabi ko, ang ganda ng chemistry ng dalawa. Oh, hindi ko masabi na isang sosyal at isang hindi masyadong sosyal pero matangkad kasi yung tangkad niya. Pero ewan ko, somehow nag-blend kayo in a sense na parang parang Jack and Poy, parang Laurel and Hardy, na parang bang ganoon. And nakakatuwa lang. And natutuwa ka ba, Michelle, na parang things are turning out so well? Kasi sa February 2, kayo naman ni Ara Arida ang magkasama sa ano. At alam kong schedule niya.
Nakatutok si Tito Norms.
Nakatutok talaga.
I never really expected how the latter part of 2020 and the start of 2021 would turn out. But I'm very blessed and fortunate to be able to experience a show like this when ABS-CBN Sports shut down and they announced that we won't be able to go back on air. I won't be able to host the show again. I won't be able to play volleyball again. So it was such heartbreaking news to receive, especially when the pageant was ongoing and there was so much going on around me. But then towards the end of 2020, I was a part of the show and I was welcomed by GMA. And, I just can't explain how everything just turned out and worked for the best. But I'm very thankful. I'm very happy to be a part of the show and to just be in this position right now to be able to be a part of something bigger. It's all about helping, making people smile and happy. Kasi alam naman natin lahat ng tao ngayon may pinagdadaanan pa din. Alam natin na hindi pa rin madali yung pagpasok ng bagong taon. It doesn't mean that we forget about 2020 and what happened, but we're all coping together, and it's just really a different experience to be a part of the show because it's something I've never really experienced before.
Oo, sabi nga ng mama ko, anak, sumali ka, baka matawagan ka nila. Sabi ko, pag tinawagan ako, tapos si Michelle ang dumayal, Diyos ko, anong biglang magiging bunga niyan? Tito Norms, tumatawag ka pala ng tutok to win.
Nakatutok talaga.
Dapat Kuya Will, doble ang premyo nito. Nakakaloka lang, Alright, Michelle, I'll just introduce our two remaining guests and then we'll go into a group discussion. Marami po tayong shoutouts dito. Michelle, just one time yung mga nagkapa-shoutouts sa iyo. Ang mga Michelans mo, Meldy, McDonald.
Hi, guys!
Christine Jane Tabra. Diyos ko, or Bihumar. Ay, nakakaloka talaga. Pag talagang nakatutok sila kay Michelle Gumabaw. Tutok na tutok. Nakakaloka. All right. Let me introduce to you our fourth guest this afternoon. Every time I would guess her, I would say, alam mo naman, nag-online guessing tayo. It's like we're so far apart when in fact we live in the same subdivision. No? Now, this girl is now someone we call an ambassador for arts and culture. I think this title fits her to a T. And ayan, Huziko, go Bella. Of course. Yan, alam mo naman ang the camp talagang ng suporta, no? Yes, friends, let's all welcome our ambassador for arts and culture, Bella Ismael. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Tito Norman!
Hello. Bella,
Hello,
please greet our
everybody.
viewers first.
Hi, everybody. Hello to my ballerinas, to Mama Zico, and everybody from the camp. Hello. I miss you guys so much. It's been a while, Tito Norman. How are you over on the
Yes,
other
I'm
street? How are you
oh,
doing?
Diyos ko, naloloka ako sa mga over of the other street talaga, no? Alam mo, oo. Alam mo, parang we live near to each other, pero parang the feeling pa rin is parang we're so far apart. Parang ganun talaga eh. Parang bang, well, it cannot be helped. It's really like that. But how have you been coping so far?
Well, lately, Tito Norms, I've been doing okay naman. I've been definitely been spending more time with my family, which is always a blessing. I actually just came from Cavite with them, so it was a good time to kind of bond with them again over the weekend. Kami-kami lang. So it was good. It's a great way to recharge, especially for me, because the family, of course, it means so much to be with them. And
Alam mo,
aside from that,
grabe, ang
oh,
fresh-fresh mo ngayon. Ang fresh-fresh. Ano ba yan? Parang we woke up like this lang, ang fresh-fresh.
thank you.
Nakakaloka. Please continue. Sorry for butting in.
No,
Ano,
it's good. Siyempre, Sunday, wind down day, so wala masyadong makeup, relax lang, diba? Pero yeah,
nakakaloka ka.
uh,
Wala pang makeup yung lagay na yan.
meron naman, konti lang, konti lang.
Diyos ko, may galing ang konti lang. If I had that look on a Sunday na konti lang ang makeup, my God, I'm sure I'd had so many I'd have so many suitors lining up outside. But right now, only the dogs are lining up outside trying to get the food of my doggy in the garage.
Sana
Anyways,
all, Tito Norms.
sana all nga. Pero Bella, when you got assigned ambassador for arts and culture, in as the other ladies have mentioned, you had the option to choose what
Yes.
specific area or issue. Ayoko tawagin issue, hindi siya issue eh. Area that you will be an ambassador for. Um, what was running inside your head when you went for arts and culture?
Well, immediately when the idea of us having specific topics or something specific to represent came about, automatically I already thought, okay, arts, definitely, because as everybody knows, I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, and it's always been a part of my life since I was a very little girl. So when I thought arts, okay, this is me. This is something that will be perfect for me because I can definitely apply myself in whatever comes my way, no matter how, no matter what variety it is, no matter what kind of art it is. I was ready for it. And then Sir Mario, our marketing head for Miss Universe Philippines, actually he introduced arts and culture. And I love that idea because arts and culture come hand in hand, especially here in the Philippines. We're all such amazing artists in our own way. And for me, that was something that I really wanted to be known for or to be recognized for. Because aside from my personal art, I like the fact that I bring that Filipino trait with me as an ambassador for arts and culture. That Filipinos are known to be artistic. We're known to be very much into our culture, into our traditions, and that's something that I want to embody as a Filipina. So I was very happy with it.
Yeah. Pero how were you able to harmonize? Kasi your original advocacy was mental health during the
Yes.
competition, as ito arts and culture. How were you able to harmonize the two? Sige nga, kumbaga,
Well,
parang I'll put you on the spot. Paano mo i-harmonize yung dalawa?
No, Tito, it's not on the spot at all because this is actually something I do all the time, even before. Because, syempre, lahat tayo, we're all taking care of our mental health, no matter what situation we're in. And ballet for me has always been my way of expression. It's always been my way of therapy, also. So, being able to express myself when I can't, sometimes you know how they say when you're feeling something and you need to talk about it. Minsan kasi we can't hindi natin ma-express yun in our words. So for me, dancing, moving, even just like moving in any way that I feel is right is already a great way of expression for me. So that is a great integration of mental health and arts because you learn how to not only express but also to understand yourself, to understand what's going on with your body or your mind. And it also allows you to adapt to different situations, to different people, in many situations, arts and movement and culture is a way that we Filipinos we relate to each other. A lot of people meet through that. So definitely arts is something that I want everybody to know and as I work as we go along that arts is something that can really help you with your mental health. So I think it's perfect talaga.
And at the same time, with your Tita Margie, she's with Cultural Center of the Philippines.
Yeah.
I think magiging alay mo rin siya in terms of arts and culture because it will facilitate certain, like if you may have projects na lined up when it comes to performing arts and something like that. Ano talaga, para bang, okay, do you want the main theater or the little theater? Parang ganoon. Parang ang bilis-bilis agad ng na suporta makukuha mo sa kanya, hindi ba? Of course, hindi naman
Oo
sinasabi
nga.
natin na gano'n, pero it just becomes convenient in a way na
It's so
parang,
true.
oo,
Oo.
oo, sabi nga
Tsaka
nila, eh,
nakakatawa. It's
oo,
so funny, Tito Norms, kasi parang kami ni Tita Margie were always somewhat similar. For example, before when she was with Ballet Philippines, that's when I was more active in ballet. And then now she's with CCP, Cultural Center of the Philippines. And then now I'm introduced to arts and culture. So it's kind of funny if you think about it that way. But it's
it's,
nice. It's a
parang
nice thing to know.
everything's falling in the right place. Sabi nga nila, Bella will have her solo ballet concert. Oo, sa main theater siya. Oo, doon siya magpapalabas. So she will do, uh, um, ano ba to? Yung mga Swan Lake. She will
Oh
do
my
Swan
goodness.
Lake. Oo.
I would love to
Oo.
do that pero hindi yata kaya ng toes ko. Masyadong nakakapagod. Kailangan ko ng buong production, other dancers.
Totoo, because I've seen it and it's very demanding. All right, Bella, I'll just introduce our final guest and then we'll go into a group discussion after.
All
Okay,
right.
shout out po ulit. Evo, Halandoni Sampan, mga supporters talaga ni Bella. Diyos ko, talagang
My
ah,
ballerinas.
oo, nakakaloka. Oo. Ay, hindi ko na po sasabihin iba yung comments, Diyos ko, at at masaya lang po kami dito. Our last guest this afternoon, our Miss Universe Philippines 2020. And she's the ambassador for education. Actually, education is something that's so very dear to me because I used to be a teacher. So, 9 years din po ako nagturo. Kaya, malapit po sa puso ko ang education talaga. Tapos napunta pa sa kanya to. Friends, let's welcome our Miss Universe Philippines 2020, Rabiya Mateo. Rabiya. Hello.
Hi, maayong
Hi.
hapon sa tanan. Maayong hapon
Oo.
din everyone. Kamusta
Hello,
ka?
Ran. Well, eto, masaya na lang ako that when I'm interviewing you, it's like I'm looking at the mirror. But, of course, syempre, mahirap na pag naka-lockdown and everything. I couldn't step out of my comfort zone. So, but you look happy. You look relaxed.
I
You
am.
look,
I am happy, Tito.
oo,
There's
para
great
bang,
things happening right now, and I'm very much grateful for all the opportunities and blessing that is coming my way. And there's a lot of things that I should celebrate.
and syempre, ano rin, you're doing this interview right now from your new home in BGC, di ba?
Yes.
Nakakatuwa lang. My God, it's like you have two teddy bears at your back, and
Yes.
and, and it shows the coziness of your place. No, nakakatuwa lang talaga,
Regalo
no?
po from fans. So, naka-display talaga lahat ng binibigay ng fans ko dito sa bahay.
Paano kung regaloan kita ng bibingka? Paano mo ma-display siya ng bibingka?
Nakasatago sa rep. Baka ako pa po
Anyway,
yung magregalo ng bibingka.
ay, nakakaloka. Ano ba? Rob, ito ha. When you chose to be the ambassador for education, was it an easy pick for you? Kasi nga, you were already teaching in a review school. Parang ganon. Para bang, wala ka bang ibang mga areas na kinonsider? Para bang, education, it's easy. Parang ganon. Was it easy for you?
I will be honest, Tito Norman, the first thing that struck my mind was educating people. Because it's something that you cannot fake. It's something that I'm very passionate about. And when I do something for my whole reign, I want something na bukas talaga sa loob ko. At knowledgeable ako. That's why I told Mama Jay na I wanted to be an ambassador for education. Kasi ito talaga yung mahal kong gawin.
Oo. How many years na nga ba na you have been teaching in Iloilo, Rob?
Tito Norman, actually, dito po ako sa Manila nagtuturo.
Okay, here in
Sa isang
Manila.
review
Oo.
center. So, I graduated and got my license around 2018. And then from then on, nagturo na talaga ako sa review center. So, it's been 2 years. Magti 3 years na nga, actually.
Anong klaseng teacher ka nga, Rob?
Makulit ako. Kaya yung mga students ko nakakasundo ko po talaga. And I make sure na sometimes kasi it's so toxic, especially in a review center kung saan nagpre-prepare yung mga students mo to take the board exam. And I feel na during that time, I would lift up their spirit. Kasi yun yung kailangan ng mga estudyante ko. Somebody na hindi lang magtuturo sa kanila tungkol sa, anatomy, physiology, but somebody na pakiramdam nila, pamilya nila. So, ganun po akong klaseng teacher. That's why when I joined Miss Universe Philippines, patuloy pa rin po akong sinuportahan ng mga estudyante ko, pati na rin yung pamilya nila. So parang lumaki na ng lumaki yung Rabiya Natics. Yung nanay nila, yung mga nanay nila, mahal na mahal talaga ako.
Extended na talaga. Extended na ang mga nagmamahal sa'yo. Pero ang tanong ko, Rob, syempre sometimes, kasi as I've said earlier, I've also been a teacher myself. Pero sa akin, hindi ko ito naging concern because syempre, I was a lot older than my students when I was a teacher back then. Pero like, if your students are all older than you, for example, or kaedad mo lang, hindi ka ba nahihirapan to get their confidence in you in terms of the technical side of things?
It was a struggle, especially during my first few months teaching. Kasi yung mga students ko, same batch kami. It's just, I took the board exam mas maaga. Pero same year kaming nag-graduate. So, I would always try to motivate myself na I'm here because I have my license and that makes me knowledgeable of things. So, it's more of trying to become the person that they would look up to. Kaya mas ginalingan ko po talaga sa pagtuturo. Before I go inside the room, I make sure na I know everything na ituturo ko. And umpisa, syempre, you need to earn their respect. Pero nung nakita nila yung fire inside of me na gusto kong magturo, hindi lang ako dito para magpa-cute or mag-share ng experiences ko. Nandito ako kasi gusto ko kayong tulungan. From then on, I was able to earn their respect as their lecturer.
Paano naman, Rabiya, if ikaw na ang kailangan mag-aral ng Spanish?
Wow!
Ay, biglang nag-segue doon. Naloka ako bigla doon. Biglang mag-aaral ng Spanish. Alam mo, ang dami nagka-shoutout sa'yo, Rob. Naloloka ako, mga Rabianatics and all, no?
Nako.
Joseph Madrid, Miles, Melissa Marcelo, Danieles, ang dami nila. Diyos ko, isa pa talaga yan eh. Yung mga dito, ni Mitch Pareha, lahat ng mga alam mo naman ako, kumbaga, yung bawat isa sa inyo, kahit nung pang time na competition, bawat isa sa mga candidates may connect sa akin yan palagi. Para bang hindi na 6 degrees of separation, 2 degrees of separation lang palagi. Kundi yung hair and makeup artist, yung designer, yung kanyang promoter, yung kanyang yung franchise holder dun sa probinsya. Pero masaya lang talaga. Pero nadulas lang ako kanina sa mag-aaral ka ng Spanish because Spanish is not hard to study. Yeah.
I
And
have
it's
the
not,
patience to study naman, Tito Norman. Up until now,
yeah.
sabi ko nga kung anong country man gaganapin ng Miss Universe, aaralin ko yung language nila. Kahit mga simple words lang. Kasi gusto ko pa rin makakommunicate sa native nila doon. So, let's see
Ay,
talaga. I'm
nako.
excited. Para.
Naku, let's keep our fingers crossed, Rab, that yung kung ano man yung mga nangyayari, mga usapan ngayon or usapin in terms of hosting will come through because a lot of people are really interested kapag natuloy nga yung pinag-uusapan nila ngayon. Pero of course, siyempre, negotiations pa lang po yan. Huwag po natin muna, let's not take it as something final. Everything is still floating in the air, but I really hope it's going to be Costa Rica eventually. Kung Costa Rica man, Diyos ko, makikisakay na lang ako sa maleta. Sasakay na lang ako sa maleta mo para habang
Sama
pupunta ka ng
kita.
Costa Rica. Yes! Shoutout na naman po tayo to, again, ang dami mga kapasal sa Rabiya, to Kenneth Aquino. Hi to Hilbang Kal watching from Bangkok, Thailand. Joal, Noel Maestre La Peña from Bahrain. Lyra Jane Antipatia Inok and Kier Dogan Dulabadan. Puro hello Rabia talaga ito. Nakakaloka lang talaga. Eto na, bago tayo mag-group discussion, kumusta ng boyfriend mo? Ay, biglang tinanong yung boyfriend. Nakakalokang segue. Oh,
Tito Norman, okay naman po. Kami pa naman po. Update.
yon. Ilan naman ang hinili kong sagot because
Yes.
oo, nakakatuwa lang kasi nakaka-inspire lang kasi sana all nga pag kasi pag pandemic, mahirap magkaroon ng love life talaga kung tutusin eh. Pero at least you have yours. Someone who
Yes.
makes you smile, someone who makes you happy. Let's go to a group discussion now. Direct, na po tayo? Let's go to a wide screen with all of my beautiful guests this afternoon. Ang ating Ambassador for Education, Ambassador for Arts and Culture, Ambassador for Health and Fitness, Ambassador for Tourism, and our Ambassador for Gender Equality. Magsisimula na po ang cabinet meeting namin ngayon. Kung ano, no, ito ang question ko that I want each one of you to answer. Yung mga assigned na titles sa inyo, this is such a novel thing in pageantry. So, how do you and the organization plan to carry out your specific titles as ambassadors? Let's start with you, Billy.
The good thing about the organization is that they allowed the title to simmer muna. So parang they didn't rush us into doing anything or into planning anything. So just absorb nyo muna and then think and then conceptualize. Parang make it your own pa. Kasi prior to these titles, we had our own previous titles. So we were pretty focused on that and then biglang mag-shift to this. So I like that they gave us the time to adjust. And also to you, Tito Norman, because I know a lot of fans, a lot of pageant enthusiasts were really, really curious, but you guys gave us time to understand what our titles are all about. So for me, so after months and weeks of planning and thinking about it, me and the organization are thinking about having a show that will highlight the LGBTQ community. And I am still in the conceptualization plan. I'm still in the planning phase of it, but it's pretty complicated. It's pretty colorful, but it's going to be really, really fun.
My God, na-excite naman ako bigla dyan sa show na yan. Ang ganda naman description mo, pretty complicated, pretty fun. Para bang, oh my God, what would that be? Para bang roller
Yeah,
coaster concert yata yung mangyayari yan.
I
Di
can I
ba?
can explain it further, but siguro I'll just let the girls give a hint of what theirs is all about also. So
All
mamaya na
right.
siguro yung sa akin.
Okay. Pauline, sa nila
Yes, Tito
tawag ng how
Norms.
talaga. O yun, ano ba, how does our ambassador for tourism and Miss MUP plan to carry out your specific title as tourism
Yes.
ambassador?
So I had an initial discussion with Mama J almost 2 weeks ago before I went back to Bohol. And there he asked me if I would be okay with traveling to different parts in the Philippines. And of course, my initial reaction was,
Oh,
yes, I
ang
am so
sarap!
willing to do
Yes.
that. But of course, after saying that, I started thinking about everything, and I started also reflecting as to how or my experience was, my personal experience in traveling to Bohol in this new normal with all these requirements. So it is not easy to travel, whether it's for leisure or whether it's for seeing your family. There are so many requirements that you need to collect, that you need to submit. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. So actually what Billy said about her project is somehow similar to my project. It would also be kind of like a video series which would be about the different places in the Philippines, highlighting the people, highlighting the different cultures, highlighting the amazing places that those destinations need to that those destinations can offer here in the Philippines. But I'm thinking that if ever we're gonna start that, it's probably gonna be maybe in Luzon first, places that we can go to by car so that it's not too difficult to go to those places, and so that at least the requirements won't be too much of a burden that way. But of
Oh.
course we want to be sure that everyone that's going to be part of the team is going to be safe. Health is always going to be the top priority when it comes to this. But I am very excited about it as well. It would be amazing to somehow share once again the beauty of the Philippines in these new times with everyone, not just foreign tourists, but more especially and more importantly with other Filipinos too, so that they might appreciate the beauty of what we have here in our country and might want to somehow be part of the movement that would boost tourism once again. Filipino to Filipino, the Filipinos for the Philippines. And it would be amazing to work on a project like that.
Alam mo, nakakatuwa kasi, Pauline, in your case, like sa tourism, like if you would focus on Luzon first, o pumunta ka kunyari ng Laguna, pupunta ka kunyari ng La Union, pupunta ka ng Pangasinan, and you have your sisters there, mga fellow candidates nyo who represented those places. So magiging allies nyo
Yes,
sila in those specific provinces din. And parang
exactly.
magkakaroon ka
Why
ng
not?
co-host. Parang may co-host na agad.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes,
di ba?
that's an amazing idea
Nakakatuwa.
because who better to share their stories about their hometowns or home provinces than the girls who represented those provinces while they competed for Miss Universe Philippines. So that's actually an amazing suggestion, Tito Norms, and an amazing observation. Thank you. I will keep that in mind and bring that up during our meeting tomorrow, Puhon.
Oo. Ay, nakakaloka lang yun. Diyos ko. Mama Che, Diyos ko, isama niyo ako sa mga tourism caravan na yan. Masarap kasi yung mga tourism caravan eh. It's really, you learn so much about the Philippines when you visit different provinces. Now,
That's
let's go
true.
to our ambassador for health and fitness. Ano mga proyekto na gagawin mo, ambassador for health and fitness? Tutok na po kayo sa kanyang sasabihin.
You know
Yes.
what, Forms, when unfortunately I haven't been able to have an alignment session with MUPH because it's things have been really busy and hectic recently. But I do know that they are very much inclined to having something digital, so maybe online content for all the girls. That is me being an ambassador for health and fitness. As we all know, being a professional volleyball player, health and fitness is something very real and something very close to my heart. And I would want to share this to so much more people because we're in a pandemic. We're in your arsenal right now is being healthy, is being fit, not only physically, but mentally, socially, spiritually. It's an overall thing. And that's what I want to remind everybody right now, especially as we are now in the now, not anymore the new normal, but it's a now normal. And we all have to take into consideration all the safety precautions that we have to live with, all the health protocols that we have to follow. And I must admit, it's not easy, but if we do it all together, and if everybody is well informed, so that's where I step in. I want to be able to be that source of information, to be able to disseminate information through social media. And whenever I go to different parts of Metro Manila or different parts of the Philippines to do relief operations for your 200 I know that it would be also very vital for me to share how I keep healthy and how I keep fit. So that yesterday I visited Manila, we distributed goods there, and during the short time that they allowed me to talk, I was able to share to them how they can keep healthy, not only physically by eating nutritious food, but also spiritually by praying, how they can keep healthy mentally by taking up different hobbies. So in small ways like that, you can be an advocate for health and fitness. But at the end of the day, I know that January comes in, we all have different health and fitness goals as well. So I want to be able to share that also to a lot more people through my social media platforms. I believe that with the influence I was blessed with social media, I know I can reach a lot more people, inspire a lot more people. And so I want to take that opportunity and really go full blast with everything I want to launch in 2021. Of course, with Miss Universe Philippines and with the direction that they also want to take. So we have yet to have that collaborative meeting, but I do agree that it's very limited to mostly online content for now, because of all the precautions that we have to take if we go out of our homes.
Nakakaloka lang dahil online content, limited sa online content, but it's really how you can reach out to many people na in one sitting. Ikaw pa may mga kulo, sulu, basilan. Nakakaloka yung mga tinatawagan nyo na mga tatawag na lang bigla na. Malapit po ako sa Malaysia, hindi po ako malapit sa Pilipinas. Narito po ako sa Basilan. Para mga naabot yung mga dulong-dulo na talaga ng Pilipinas, hindi
Mm-mm.
ba?
Yes po.
Nakakatuwa lang yung mga ganoon. And how about you, Bella? Okay,
Yes, Tito
sige nga, pag
Norms.
nagkaroon ng alignment, ako nakakabigla yung wording talaga ni Michelle. Yung mga alignment session and collaborative activities na gagawin nyo with arts and culture and MUPH.
Yeah, so I mean, like the other girls were talking about Tito Norms, with MUPH, we're talking about maybe like having a show featuring all the girls and our specialties. So for me, actually, in line with what Pauline said, actually, it's so interesting because Mama J and I were talking. What if, if Pauline if she goes to different places and talks about the tourism and all of that? What if I go with her co-host and talk more about the culture? Focus on the arts of that specific province or city. So it was a great idea. There's that, and I'm so excited to do that also because who doesn't want to travel? But like what Pauline said, there's the restrictions and all of that. So that's one idea, definitely. And of course, personally, on the art side, naman, for example, me as a ballerina, one of the things that I really want to go back to is being able to teach again because when a few years ago when I was still more active in dancing, I would help out my teacher and I would teach the baby ballet. So I was teaching around 3 to 5 year olds and all of that. And I really miss that. And of course, because of the pandemic and safety protocols, we can't be physically together. And I miss that. So I was telling Mama J, like, what if we can have maybe like one episode where it's kind of like a ballet 101 or something like that for people who want to kind of learn the basics, how they can apply that with something as simple as posture, for example. So there's a little bit of that in the works. I'm really excited about that because this is another way for us to connect, another way for us to connect with all of you supporters who have been following us since day one. And I think you'll be able to see more of our personalities, more of who we are, more of seeing how we are when we're outside the pageant scene or outside of the usual situations that you see us in on social media. So that's a great way for us to really show you guys what we can do with our different topics or different specialties, these things that we're following. And I like the idea that we can also kind of work together. We're not limited to, for example, me, I'm not just limited to arts and culture. Michelle's not just limited to health and fitness and all of that. So it's kind of exciting how we can also put those all together.
Oh, nakakatuwa lang kasi Bella because before this episode, last night, I was watching, I rewatched the finals of Miss Universe Philippines. Nalala ko na naman talaga yung ballerina twirl mo talaga na umikot na 3.5 para ba kung ba sa diving, parang 3.5 somersault yun. Sabi ko, gusto ko i-practice yun, pero kailangan bagong floor walks ang aming sahig bago ko
Oo
gawin
nga.
yun because it's going to be really tough doing
Medyo
that.
mahirap. Pwede tayo
Oo.
mag-tutorial.
Ay, Diyos ko, Lord, eto na po, pag nag-tutorial tayo, sabihin mo, talakad ka lang naman dito, Norms, going to our place, eh, madali lang. Ako, hindi. I don't have my tutu, I don't have my ballet flats, and I don't have the confidence to do that 3.5 ballerina twirl. But we can
Kaya
Ako
mo
eat.
naman.
yan!
Okay, I'll do that. Basta may love life na. Okay.
Ah,
Ay,
You
nakakaloka.
can work
Rob,
on
how
that.
about you? Ano bang proyekto mo as Ambassador for Education?
Actually, Tito Norman, I have partnered with IPNAP, which is called the Infant and Pediatric Nutritional Association of the Philippines. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to go to different parts of the country, and there I'm going to be the spokesperson. So, it's not just about me being an educator. Now, iba na po yung influence ko. And at the same time, I prepared this mini IG series, which is called Stories of Hope. So, dito din, nag-travel din po ako sa different places all over the country. I've been to Cebu. Next stop ko po, target ko na is Davao City. And from there, kumukuha po ako ng mga stories that would inspire a lot of people. Kasi now there's still a pandemic, and for most of us, we have lost hope. So with these stories, I hope na makakadala ito ng motivation, ng inspiration sa mga kababayan natin. And I'm also working with AHA Learning Center. So marami talagang projects na naka-line up, and I'm very much excited na magawa sila isa-isa.
Ay, nakakatuwa na may marinig yung mga ganyan. Ngayon, eto. These are questions sent to me by my readers. Tailor-made for each one of you. So, Rabia, una ko yung question sa iyo, no? The question is, if you had a choice between this, kumbaga, you're given two choices. Which one is closer to your heart as an ambassador for education? Number one, inclusive education for children from indigenous communities or tribes, or two, inclusive education for adults who have missed going to school in their younger years. Oh, Rabia, nag-freeze ka, nakakaloka. Pag nag-freeze ka, itatanong ko kay Bella yung question para sa kanya.
I'm sorry na wala ako.
Oh,
Sorry
fast
po.
ba?
ulitin ko ba yung question ko, Rab?
Yes po, I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I wasn't
If
able
you
to
had a
grasp.
choice between these two, ano ang mas pipiliin mo as ambassador for education? Inclusive education for children coming from indigenous tribes or communities, or inclusive education for adults who have missed going to school in their younger years?
It's kind of hard, but I would go for the latter part, which is giving opportunities for our elderly to continue their dreams. For most of us, we have the opportunities to set goals, to achieve it, but education is something that shouldn't be limitless. So, regardless of your age, regardless of your status in life, you can still be the person that you want to be, pursue it, and then become a blessing to your community.
Ay, how nice naman. Actually, that question is inspired by the advocacies of two of your fellow candidates during MUPH, Skelly Florida of Biliran and Carissa Kiza of Surigao. Yes, oh, tama naman. Oh, tama naman rin ko. Bella, itong question sa iyo. Which of the two will you choose? Folk dance appreciation or the promotion of indigenous fabrics?
Hmm. I think I would choose the first one, folk dance appreciation, because with considering the two choices, you can actually integrate them. When we have appreciation for the folk dances, which is a big part of our culture in many different parts of the Philippines, you can also integrate the fabrics and the costume, or even in the decorations, in the set, in whatever it is. So I would go for the first one, of course, because dance is very close to my heart. And as much as possible, I would love to take part in that also, maybe even have the girls in it. So there's a lot I could do with that. Um, but maybe if I had to integrate both, I'd probably make a fashion show where the models not just model, but they also dance and some make movements with the our folk dances and all of that while wearing fabrics also So there's a lot I can do with it, and I love that idea, and it's my brain is just going crazy right now with so many ideas. So that's what I would go with.
Ay, nakakatuwa. Manonood ako ng
Every
concert niyo.
athlete does that, Bella.
Oo.
'Di ba?
Di
Habang
ba?
nagmo-model, 'di ba? Oh, 'di
Nakakaloka.
ba?
May
May
mga ganun
mga
talaga.
I
Tubig and
wanna
all
see
that.
Michelle
Oo.
do that.
Ay, naku,
Right.
my God. Diyos ko, Lord. O, ito, Michelle, itong sa'yo. Itong choices sa'yo. Which would you choose? Special Olympics or nutrition for athletes? Low-cost nutrition for athletes.
Wow. Tito Norm, Special Olympics, because nutrition for athletes has to be something natural for you. If you're an athlete, you have to know how to fuel your body. I choose Special Olympics because I feel that this kind of sport isn't very much talked about, advertised, and really streamlined on social media. I really want to take stories, share it to more people, because honestly, they are one of the most inspirational forms of sports and stories that you can come across. Seeing Special Olympics and people with disabilities, physical disabilities, to be able to do so many different kinds of sports, and to be able to have that passion despite everything that is hindering them. It's just so inspiring. I know that an athlete such as me, who is able bodied, will be able to do more, work more, and really appreciate what I have and what I'm blessed with.
Ay, nakakatuwa talaga ang Special Olympics. Sa totoo lang. Kumbaga
Mm-mm.
parang it really warms the heart and inspires you. Now, before I ask you, Pauline, kasi sa'yo iba yung question eh. Tanungin ko muna yung kay Billy kasi medyo mas iba yung question sa'yo eh. Para ituloy lang natin
Hala,
yung theme.
bakit
Ah,
yun?
Billy,
Special.
oo. Billy, etong dalawang choices sa'yo. Um, Equal opportunity employment or home-based income opportunities for disadvantaged head of the families regardless of gender.
Hmm.
Okay? Equal opportunity employment or home-based income opportunities for disadvantaged head of the families regardless of gender.
I think the latter one. I think the home-based income. Mainly because of the current situation that we're in. And our fight for equal pay and opportunity has been going on, and it's a battle that will go on until we reach that. But as of right now, the main problem and what's essential is surviving. And it will work for everyone, despite of their gender. So home-based income would be my priority between the two.
So ano talaga yung concert na gagawin mo na nakakaloka? Tatanungin ko
Concert?
yun mama. Ay,
Yes, please.
tatanungin ko mamaya yan ha.
Yes.
Pauline, ito ha. This was
Yes, po.
sent to me by my reader Jed, no? Kasi nga, although ang haba kasi nito eh, kailangan ko talaga ng salamin para basahin to. Pauline, if you are the
My
Secretary
God.
of Tourism, and once everything is back to normal and everyone got their vaccination and all, how will you bring back and maintain the tourism in our country in the now normal? What are your plans if you have some? Ay, Secretary of Tourism ka na daw ngayon.
Of
Nakakaloka.
course. Okay. As your secretary for, in a joke lang, as your ambassador for tourism, of course, I notice now, and I'm beginning to appreciate now in this new normal, the power of social media. And I plan to harness the power of social media because there's just so many people you can reach with social media. And I think that if a picture paints 1,000 words, a video can do so much more. So I think it would be amazing to capture the people, capture the culture, capture the beauty of nature of every spot in the Philippines, whether it's a commercial spot or maybe if it's a secret spot, that would be better, I think. And then show that to people using the power of social media, because that way we'd be able to reach so many more eyes in the world, not just in the Philippines, but all over. And I think that would be an amazing way to start sharing what we have. And it would be in another sense also safe for everybody. But of course, if there are other tourism campaigns to invite more people, whether they're from the Philippines or from outside of the Philippines, then I would be all for it. There's so much that we can offer. There's so much that we can show, and Bohol is actually working on that at the moment. We are planning so many different things. February has a lot to offer when it comes to Bohol, and I hope that whatever I learn from being part of this committee in Bohol, I might be able to apply and share to other parts in the Philippines, hoping that they too can harness everything that they have, put it all together, as Bella says, integrate it all together, and then come up with just uh, not an amazing show, but just come up with something that they can share with everybody else.
My God, spoken like a Secretary of Tourism talaga. Pag Secretary of Tourism ka na, don't forget me, Colin, ha? Nakakaloka.
Never.
Okay, next question natin. Ito, wish list question. Shout out na rin to kay Mario Garcia dahil wish list na ito. If you could choose a product or products that you would want to endorse that is allied to your assigned title, what product, what consumer product or services would that be, and why would you want to endorse it? Of course, you need not say specific brands, but you can describe what you want to endorse that would help strengthen your influence as ambassadors of your specific assigned titles. Rob, let's start with you.
If given the chance, I would like to choose two things. That would be a pen and a paper.
I
Because
okay.
going back to school, you don't need so much in order for you to learn. You only need these two things and your heart to progress. And I realized back then I don't have, nice shoes. I didn't even have new bags during the start of the school year. All I have is this paper and my pen. And up until now, I will be able to share what I have, the knowledge, the experiences. So it's gonna make education so much better once you put your energy into it.
Thank you for that, Rob. Mario, tawagan mo na daw ang National Bookstore, okay? Okay. Bella, how about you?
Tito, for me, it's quite difficult to answer this because immediately I would think services, I would think organizations, but when it comes to products, I think I don't have specifics yet, but I would love to partner up with brands or companies that create products that are not exactly art integrated, if that makes sense. I want something that will take you with a bang. So for example, let's say Nike, for example. Collaborate kami, but then we create a line that's more into ballet, for example, or something like gymnastics. It's something I would want something kind of revolutionary in a way that would definitely be memorable, and then of course integrate the Filipino culture into it. So not only does it boom here in the Philippines, but of course in the whole world. And if I had the opportunity to do that, then I think that's something that would definitely help me create a bigger influence, to help me spread my word, to help touch more people, to help them become more aware of like our arts and our culture and what we are. So Nike, if you're watching this, the joke lang, but
Ay! Ayun na.
Baka
Yun na lang yung nakakatawa.
naman!
I'm just
Hashtag
kidding.
baka
Nike,
naman.
Mario, Nike or Adidas na daw, ha? Yung isa-isa na natin yan. Pero meron talagang may brands talaga na, ano tayo eh.
I mean, just
Michelle,
something out of nowhere. I mean, something
yeah.
out of, yeah.
For me,
Alam na ni
Lord,
Mario yan. Yes, Michelle.
being confined, if I'm gonna be confined with health and fitness, I do work with a lot of brands that have the same advocacy, but I just like to be different for one moment. Yes, I want to push for vitamins because that's what we all need now, but I would want to explore a product that would merge personal protective equipment and at the same time Filipino fabrics, because my eyes were opened when I was able to work with the Philippine Textile Research Institute for the past month. And I saw this one specific fabric that says mosquito repellent. And instantly, imagine if we had one that would be, virus repellent. A lot of people say copper infused fabric would be helpful for the virus. Especially, what I was just really thinking and looking into it, what if we could incorporate that technology into our Filipino textile, Filipino fabrics? That would, because we would protect Filipinos, and at the same time, we would be able to help a lot of Filipinos. So, it's just something that I'm really looking forward to. That's tangible, but intangible, when we're talking about health and fitness, I would really promote and talk about discipline, because that is one product of yourself that you need if you want to stay healthy and fit.
All right. Mario, kontakin na natin si Michael Cinco. Magpagawa tayo ng line of personal PPEs na may copper infused and everything. So that, talagang pinapressure natin si Mario ngayon, I'm sure. Oo. Oo. Pao, how about you? Ay,
Actually,
ang
two
dami
things
niyan
come
ha.
to mind.
Tourism yan, ang dami ha. Okay. Yes.
Well,
Oh.
actually, two things come to mind. When it comes to services, as an ambassador for tourism, something that I considered doing as a sideline before while I was the municipal tourism officer was actually be a tour guide for people who would visit the province. That's in terms of services, because that way I can really share how I view my experiences, and I can share my stories with the people that visit Bohol, and hopefully those stories will warm their hearts and will somehow make their experience more complete as well. But when it comes to brands, there are, of course, what you call this, brands that actually offer services like airlines, for example, or ferries that traverse the waters in between the provinces. So if I could be somehow the face of those, it's another very big hashtag baka naman. Pero
Wow! Okay, go, go, go!
yeah, go lang nang go. Anyway, so if I could somehow help those brands who help people travel within the Philippines or even outside of the Philippines, I think that would be an amazing thing to do. And especially lately, I've also received so many inquiries from people asking me, what are the requirements when we want to go back home to Bohol, because we haven't visited our family for so long. And I just think that not a lot of people know about the updated protocols and processes that have been in place in Bohol. I don't know with the rest of the Philippines yet. And I think if I would be able to somehow share more or keep the people updated and informed about those things, that a lot more people will be able to travel, a lot of more people will be able to go home, and at least it would be a friendly face sharing those sharing all that information without them having to go through all the effort of reading through PDF files that are of 10 pages long just to know what the new protocols or revisions are. So that's something that I would really like to work on as well.
All right, Mario, kundi daw Philippine Airlines ang CAS ang kunin mo para kay Pauline. Para
Pwede!
ano talaga, para mag-transport siya talaga to different places.
For her own transportation.
Nakakaloka. Ano ba yun? Billy, how about you? Naloka na.
So, sorry, di ko kinaya ang cast. Okay. So, so for me, Tito Norms, I'm very lucky because I just had my very first endorsement, my very very first ever endorsement, which is a beauty brand under the, Shiseido, and it's Anessa.
Wow!
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my God!
Anessa.
Anessa, I use that favorite ko yan, Anessa.
Yeah.
Nakakaloka. Go, 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 go.
So I love the brand because we all know that it's a beauty brand, and ever since this brand, they don't believe in just embracing diversity. Diversity is part of their brand. They don't just embrace it; it's instilled in it. So it's really a part of it, and that's something that I really love, and I like how it's really aligned to my title. And for future endorsements or brands or partnerships, I also want to work with companies and brands who look at it the same way, look at gender, beauty, or fashion the same way. So Probably other makeup brands, perhaps, who thinks that who can promote the fact that even men can wear makeup. It doesn't make you any less of a man if you want to feel good about yourself because you want to wear makeup. Things like that, or showing people that I can wear whatever I want. I can wear a tank top. I can wear this. I can wear that. Just embracing everyone's idea of beauty, idea of fashion, how they can further feel confident about themselves and not limiting people of certain things. Do you know how fashion is before? Like people is only pink is only for females, blue is only for men, and I wanna eradicate that totally by working with uh, brands related to fashion and beauty.
Yes, thank you for that, Billy. Anessa, gumagamit po ako ng BB cream yon, yung nasa parang apple green na maliit na lalagyan. Anessa, yun po ang beauty booster po yun, kahit wala na
So
akong
that's your
beauty.
baka naman.
Oo, baka naman po yung beauty booster nyo na Anessa na may SPF 50 na ano. Kasi talagang isang gamit lang yun. Ay, inulit-ulit, nakakaloka, no? Ano ba yan? O, eto, I have a reader who's an expat, a Filipino expat based in Africa, who always gives me the most interesting questions. But this time around, he gave me a question and he asked me, um, ano pa niya, Sir Norman, can you please ask the five queens this question and let's see what their answers will be. But because the question is kind of generic, but here it goes. Here it goes. In what ways did the pandemic give pageantry the opportunities to show that it is indeed relevant? Let me repeat. In what ways did this pandemic give pageantry the opportunities to show that it is indeed relevant? Courtesy of my reader, Scored from Africa. Let's start with you, Rab.
Tita Norman, I realized that it's really the hope. Beauty queens do bring hope to the community. And I realized that when I had my homecoming in Iloilo and when I visited Cebu and Albay, people are there just to see me, just to reach out to me. And there would be people who would tell, you know what, iba yung inspiration na binigay mo sa amin during this pandemic. We were inspired by your story. We were inspired how you handled everything. And then I realized na sometimes God will put you in that position to touch a lot of lives. And yun yung beauty pageant. It gives us the power, the influence to make a difference.
All
Last line na ng
right.
sagot.
Oo, ano yun, nakakaloka. Bella, how about you?
In my personal experience, Tito, the way our pageant especially has created that sense of relevance during the pandemic was that you could really you can see the human in a beauty queen. You can see the struggles that she goes through because beauty pageants, pageantry, it's not always glitz and glamour. And on a mental side, that's something that I think a lot of people, especially Filipinos all around the country, all around the world, have been able to appreciate. Because when you can relate to somebody who you look up to, that gives you a sense of comfort and that reminds you that whatever it is you're going through, no matter how bad or how good it is, it's shared and that gives you comfort. And being able to be in a pageant and having the reach of what a pageant has, it gives you that it gives you that validation that pageants are definitely a vital or um, an important factor to how people how they go through struggles. So with the pandemic, for example, a lot of people were focused on fear. A lot of people were focused on their health. And with us being able to kind of be there for them, showing them that we're here, we're also afraid, but we're powering through. That's kind of our way of bringing the whole Philippines with us. So I'm glad. I mean, I'm not happy about the pandemic, but I'm glad that we were able to give that to all the Filipinos all around the world.
Okay, thank you, Bella. Michelle, how about you?
when we look at beauty pageants, I believe that the main product of having the whole event is to have empowered women. And that's what we all need right now. Not just empowered women, but empowered individuals. And if you're in this call, you see five empowered women who have voices, and one empowered man who has a voice as well. But you know, in beauty pageants, you see so many different women coming together, talking about different advocacies, representing different cities and provinces. And that's what we need coming into this, living through this whole pandemic, is to have a voice and to have that courage to speak up for those that can't, speak up for what's in your heart and what's in your mind. And right now, we have five new titles, and we are all taking this opportunity with the help of this pageant to be able to represent another more meaningful cause that is bigger than just who we are and what we represent as individuals.
Ay, gusto ko yun. Hahanap na rin ako ng title ko kung ano ako ambassador of. Pauline, how about you?
I first of all want to commend the organization for having been able to put up a pageant in the time of Corona. It has been an amazing, I don't want to call it a distraction in the time of Corona. It was something that we were all focused on, but it also somehow gave us purpose during the pandemic. And we all went through our own struggles and challenges during the pandemic, be it emotional, financial, or spiritual. And I do believe that all of us were able to power through and come out stronger. And because of the organization, because of the mindset that they helped us with, especially during our how do you call it, our sessions together, it really helped us become more of harbingers of hope, as Rabiya said, and role models in our communities. This pageant has given us influence in our own communities, and with that influence that the pageant has given us, that the preparations have created for us, because of that, we are now able to reach out a helping hand, give help, and give hope, as Rabia said earlier as well. And that's an amazing thing for us to do for other people. We all have the capacity to give hope, and I think that's something that we're all doing now, especially with the new titles that have been given to us. Hope for a brighter tomorrow always.
Thank you, Pauline. Billy, how about you, dear?
Hirap ng last na magsasagot ng tanong.
Gusto mo?
Ano,
Sabi naman
no?
lahat,
Nasabi
nasabi
na
na.
lahat, di ba?
Dati problema ni Rabiya yun eh. Ngayon ako may hawak ng problema. But
Magkakaloka ka talaga, Kimberly. Ano ba yan? Diyos ko.
but yeah. So here goes. So as we all know, a lot of people are giving up on their dreams, and that's because of everything that's going on around us. And they think that their dreams are no longer important, mainly because what's essential right now is surviving. And to be perfectly honest, I am actually one of those people. I was one of those people. But Miss Universe Philippines taught me so many things. It even allowed me to dream bigger. And I think the Miss Universe Philippines organizations and us five are clear examples of why beauty pageants are still relevant even in the middle of a pandemic. And we refuse to give up on our dreams. And we will show the universe that if our dreams are valid, then so are yours.
Mga ganun mga final na sagot eh. Talagang kaya nireserva sa kanya yung huling sagot eh. Hindi ba nakaka-pressure talaga? Nakakaloka yung mga ganun sagot. Ano talaga eh. Parang panghuli yung sagot talaga. Anyways, we have reached a part of our episode where you will be giving your parting words to all our viewers, and at the same time promote whatever it is that will keep you busy soon. Tomorrow is already February. Baka nalilimutan you, ladies. 2 weeks from now, Valentine's Day na. Make a date na ba kayo
Who
sa...
celebrates Valentine's?
Okay, I
Wait.
don't.
I do.
Choppy.
Yeah.
I do too.
Ay, oo nga. Ay, si Rab, LDR ka, Rab, hindi ba? Oo, long distance. Nasa ba sa Manila si Boyfie?
Nandito po.
Ay, meron din. Ay, talagang
Nandito siya.
tourism and gender equality? Nasaan ang mga ano niyo, mahal sa buhay?
Kaming dalawa, mag-date kaming dalawa.
Alright, sige. Isama niyo ako.
Our ship is called Hack and Links.
Yep, hashtag hack and
Oh,
links.
pala. Kala ko noon pagluluto mo ko ng ano, something.
Oo nga, para
Oo.
hindi naman si Rabiya yung kumakain ng grocery ko.
Ay, nakakaloka. Ano ba yan? Now, for the parting words, ikaw ang uunahin ko, Billy. Para
Okay.
at least, and at the same time, promote na rin yung whatever will keep you busy in the coming weeks. Go, Billy.
Sige. So, first of all, a huge thank you, Tito Norman, for giving us this opportunity to catch up and talk to each other because all these girls, they're all very busy. Hindi kami nagkakausap-usap. And of course, we miss you, Tito Norms. Ang tagal-tagal nating hindi nag-usap-usap. But, so, to further explain, I think the project that I will be doing with Miss Universe Philippines. So, as I've said earlier, it's going to be a fun show, a humor-filled show which will try to answer questions from our cisgender brothers and sisters about LGBTQIA+. And the goal is to make people understand how we are, who we are, and how we are just like everyone else. So there will be segments addressing and explaining the members' struggles, the members' hardships, and of course their successes as well. And we will be having a lot of guests who are former or not former, who are in the medical field, legal, social services, just to make sure that all topics and all the necessary topics will be tapped or discussed. So the show, well, I hope that the show will be done together with Pauline's and Bella's show para magkakasama kaming tatlo. And also, I'll be guesting these girls as co-hosts in the show, so have to watch out for that.
Ay, gusto ko yan. Para siyang parang new version siya ng, kasi before, ang click na rin yung the V monologue, ano naman yun, the bleep monologues. Di ba? Yung, ito gawin natin the LGBT monologues. Parang ang ganda-ganda.
If only I can say the title. Mama J coined the title. It was so good.
Let's spoil it na muna para at least merong, some people can look forward to it. Thank you, Billy. Pauline, how about you? Parting words and promote the things that will keep you busy the coming weeks?
Yes. So also to you, Tito Norman, thank you for having us here today and for having us talk about these amazing things close to our heart. Also, thank you to everyone who took the time to watch this episode. Thank you guys for being part of it today. When it comes to my series that I'll be sharing hopefully with Billy and with Bella, and who knows, maybe even with Michelle and with Rabia. When it comes to the name or the title of it, I don't know yet. My meeting with Mama J is hopefully tomorrow. But it's something that excites me. The thought of it is very exciting. Being able to share the different practices of the different provinces in the Philippines is something new to me. I haven't even discovered everything that there is to discover about the Philippines, and I can't wait to be able to share that with everyone. It's also going to be fun filled. I hope that everybody somehow gets to learn a little bit more every episode, gets to laugh along with my bloopers if ever. Who knows? That would be an amazing funny twist to add to every episode. And of course, I just hope that everybody keeps on following our distinct and our unique journeys. It's still the time of the pandemic, and I'm just gonna reiterate my words from during the coronation night. Our dreams are not canceled; they're just put on hold. And what we can do now is just give each other hope to see through, and not just give hope, but actually help each other as well. And I'm sure that 2021 will be an amazing year for all of us.
It will be because tomorrow is already February 1. Sabi ko nga kanina, what I said during my opening spiel, parang we're really rushing to leave 2020 behind. Gusto natin matapos na ng January. Bukas February na. And Michelle, ikaw na ang susunod.
First of all, I want to greet everybody who's watching live, and to the girls, it's nice to see everybody again. As Billy said, di talaga kami nagkikita-kita, Tito Norms. So, thank you also, Tito Norms, for having us today. And just to conclude everything, I want to I just want to remind everybody, as the ambassador for health and fitness, the most important thing now is to not live in fear, because I feel like with all the precautions that we have to take with the pandemic and the virus that is still within our country and around the world, we are all still scared to go back to what was once making us happy. And I hope that this new year we can all just do the things that give us joy and also give joy to other people. And it's all different for all of us, but I really hope that whether it's as simple as talking to a friend or working out, I hope that we all keep our minds, our bodies healthy and fit, because that's what is most important, especially nowadays. And I hope that for all us girls, we can all carry out this year our different titles, and I hope that everybody comes and supports us in whatever we do, and whatever we do with the organization. It would mean so much to us if we have your support and we have your feedback also with everything that we want to do. So keep suggesting, keep watching wherever we're gonna come out, and what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to see. We really appreciate that. And this will be really a project not by the organization, not by us, but it's going to be for everyone. This project will be for all of you who continuously supports beauty pageantry in the Philippines. And I really hope that this year it can be as collaborative as we can be, because this is really how we're all going to be successful in our journey with Miss Universe Philippines.
Thank you, Michelle. At tutukan niyo po siya every night sa Tutok.
Yes po.
Inuulit ko yun. Pasensya na, girls. Inuulit-ulit ko kay Michelle because talaga, whenever I eat dinner with my mom, talaga, that's the first thing na nakikita na TV. Okay. Ayun. Ay, my God, nakita ko yung doggy bigla. Nagkakayo ka, no? Biglang, naghanap ng kayakap bigla ngayon. Bella, how about you? Baka maglalabas ka rin dyan ng ng side you.
Well, wala. But then, again, like what everybody has said, thank you so much to everyone who has taken the time to watch us today on your Sunday, on your rest day, probably. Thank you, Tito Norman. I'm so glad we got to do this again. I think the last time we talked like this was before the pageant pa. I mean, before
Yes.
we went to Baguio. So it's been a while. So it's been good. And well, me personally, you can definitely count on the fact that I'll be continuing to be working on different things with many different artists here in the Philippines and hopefully even outside. I can't really say what exactly yet I have coming up, but you can definitely count on the fact that you'll still be seeing your Bella Ballerina doing all her artsy stuff. And of course, promoting everything that, every little thing that I can, even from how you guys tag me on your art. I really appreciate that. I love sharing that on my Instagram. So even things like that, I really look forward to. So please keep tagging me, keep showing me. I really appreciate it. And I think I speak for all of us when we say that we really, really appreciate how you guys go out of your way to just show us how much you guys love us. And we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday, and we'll definitely be seeing you guys really soon.
Kakaloka. May hindi pa tayo nakapagkape man lang. Lapit-lapit natin sa isa't
Oo
isa.
nga
Isabel.
eh.
Kakaloka
Pupuntahan na kita
talaga.
ngayon.
Ay, naku, huwag naman ngayon agad. Diyos ko. Alam mo lang, nakapangbahay lang akong shorts dito.
Pakita lahat ng suot sa baba.
Ano nga, pangbahay na shorts nga yan.
Naka-makeup, naka-sash, nakabaayos,
Oo.
pero yung baba,
Pajama. Pajama nga. Rob, okay, parting words mo.
Bago magkakitaan pa.
Ayan, Ayan,
Kita.
Ayan, Ano siya, pajama talaga. Nakakaloka. Rob, yung parting words mo bago ako magwala. Oo, gusto. Rob.
Tito, first of all, I just want to thank you for giving this opportunity. Finally, I'm reunited with my sisters, especially kay Billy tsaka kay Pauline na minsan lang kami magkita dito sa Avida.
Ay, nakakaloka naman yung minsan lang magkita.
Pupunta lang siya kapag meron akong Tupperware na nakahanda or kapag may pasta na, pagkakain na siya. Hoy, may isa pa na nandyan.
Ay, nakakaloka. Nagbilangan na po ng Tupperware. Oo.
Sorry. However, let's go back.
Go, Rob.
This is something that I would like to promise to all the Filipinos out there. I'm doing my best. I've been pouring my heart and my soul in this journey. And actually, training has started. And I'm very much excited to transform, to improve in all aspects, to become the phenomenal queen that the Philippines deserve. And I hope that I reach your expectations. And I'm asking for your prayers, for your support, because this is not going to be an easy task for me. And I need you guys. I need your prayers. I need your support because it's going to give me the strength that I need to continue in order for me to snatch the fifth Miss Universe crown for our country. And to my sisters, thank you so much for being the phenomenal woman that you are. Thank you so much for using your voice and standing up in the things that you believe in doing the things that you're really passionate about. And to all the Filipinos, I hope that you celebrate life with your loved ones. You do things that you really want to do. And in the future, when the pandemic is over, when everything is back to normal, I hope we can hug one another and let us make each other feel the love that every one of us deserves.
Ay, nakakaloka. Kasama ako sa Costa Rica pag natuloy talaga ang Costa Rica. Nakakaloka. Alam nyo, actually, ladies, it's such an achievement for me to be able to assemble all five of you in one show. Because, with all these online programs happening, that somehow, masabi ko, buhay pa rin ako hanggang ngayon. By end of February, season 4 na. And ito, season 9 ko na ng episode 3. Yan, ang season 3, episode 9. So, it's just an achievement for me to be able to assemble all five of you. Because the start of the week, my mama, kasi I live with my mom, she keeps on saying, makukumpleto mo ba yung 5? Sabi ko, sisiguraduhin kong kumpleto ang 5. Pag hindi ko na kumpleto ang 5, kukurutin ko sila virtually at talaga hindi na malilimutan. Hindi ko sila kumpleto. Kaya masaya ako talaga na sabi ko, para sa akin, achievement to na makumpleto ko pa yung 5 because, other people are just saying na parang, no, it's easy to go to, to invite na, all the ladies. Sabi ko, no. Sabi ko, kung alam niyo lang po, the planning that I go through every time I would prepare for an episode, I have to prepare for it 3 weeks or a month in advance para talagang, actually, ito nga pong show namin na this afternoon, ang original plan ko po dito was to have it during the first Sunday of January. Kaya lang, hindi ko po kumpleto yung 5 back then. Sabi ko, I want all 5 to be complete. So it's only now, January 31, na na-complete ko sila. Kaya masaya na ako. Kaya ngayon po, ang dami nakatutok sa atin to win. Tutok to win our support. Yan. Tutok to win talaga yan. Ay, ako hindi ko po pinopromote yung show. Natutuwa lang ako kasi tutok talaga. Kasi natuto, dalawa sabay yan ha. Meron tutok sa Shopee, merong tutok sale sa Lazada.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Open ako to all brands. Ha? Hindi naman po ako mapili. Ang Anessa ko po, na beauty booster, may SPF, yung mga ganoon lang, mga ganoon. At uling, kapag naglibot ka ng Pilipinas, huwag mo kalimutan, kailangan may coverage ka. At kailangan kasama mo ako pag ganoon para mga bloopers mo, mahuhuli talaga yung mga nakakatawang bloopers mo. But maraming salamat for keeping us company this afternoon. Salamat din po to our 5 guests. Tuwa. Alam mo, tuwa ako. Kaya na sinasabi ni Michelle na, ay, kaya na kayang energy. Oo talaga, kasi achievement sa akin na nakumpleto ko kayong 5 this afternoon. Achievement para
You're
sa akin.
the first
to.
one, Tito Norms.
Kaya nga, sabi ko, parang sabi ko, I'm proud, I'm so proud of myself. Nakumpleto ko kayong 5. And I had to coordinate with all of your RMs talaga. Talagang, hindi naman, it's not passing through the eye of a needle naman talaga. Pero, of course, kasi kilala ko na naman yung mga RMs nyo. So, it's not as difficult on my part. No? Kaya, masaya ako talaga na nakumpleto kayo. And, yun. Kaya, I'm so happy. And overtime mode na po tayo ngayon. Maraming salamat po for joining us. Kasi I always try to keep within a specific airing time. Pero, um, inaabangan ko na lang po ang aming, alam mo yun, kasi girls, alam mo, meron kaming, well, among ourselves, meron kaming game na parang we need to surpass the live views per episode. Para bang, kailangan may progress na ganoon. Kaya,
May
um,
pusta ba
kay-
dyan?
um, pero ang pustad
May
dyan,
karabag.
oo, isang pack ng Anes, sana sunscreen at saka beauty booster. Oo. Paulit-ulit yun, ha? Kasi ginagamit ko talaga. Oo, kasi pag hindi ko ginagamit, hindi ko uulit-ulit. Kaya lang, kasi familiar. Anyways, thank you for joining us this afternoon. February na po tomorrow, February 1 tomorrow. But still, you always stay safe, always stay healthy. And siguraduhin nyo lang po na kahit wala po kayong date sa Valentine's Day, love will always prevail with your loved ones, with your mom, with your dad, with your family members. Hindi po
With
kinakailangan.
yourself.
Yes, hindi po kinakailangan na merong special someone all the time. Pero of course, siyempre, alam naman na po natin na si Michelle, si Bella, at si Rob, nato lang po sa paligid yung kanilang mga mahal na special someone, nakakasama lang sa Valentine's Day. So, si Pauline
Pau
mula
Pau,
dito.
reach
Si
my
Pau
hand,
Pau,
Pau Pau. Reach my hand.
oo,
I got Billy, I'm okay.
oo. Pero masaya naman po. Alam niyo, actually, masaya naman kahit
There.
ano. Alam mo, masaya namang masaya namang mag-Valentine's Day nang walang date palagi. Oh, well, ay, nalulukan ako sa mga comments ng mga tao. Salamat po for joining us this afternoon. Pero huwag muna kayo lalabas agad, mag-picture taking lang tayo pag end ng live broadcast para sa group photo. And thank you for joining us. Please, let's give all our viewers a big flying kiss.
Bye, guys!
I love you all. Please always keep pageantry norms your Sunday habit. Na alam ko naman, ginagawa niyo. Pero it's always hard. But I love it. Thank you for joining us. Mwah! Pag nag-end na po ang broadcast, mag-picture taking lang po kami.